So the path to getting real is really the practices we're doing, which are learning to see and name and really contact the life that's here moment to moment. And that means our aggressiveness, where we have thoughts that aren't so savory, where we get competitive, where we want to in some way be better than others, where we get obsessed with how we look, where there's just a lot of focus on self, which is itself can be embarrassing. Where we start just acknowledging, okay, we acknowledge the ways we mislead, exaggerate. This is radical self-honesty, and it takes a real commitment because the process means we're having to experience that sense of taboo, that what we're touching into isn't so well regarded by ourself and our culture. We have to be willing to do that. So it's a courageous path. There's no way that we'll be really honest with ourselves, really contact truth, unless there's some space that's forgiving, tender, kind, that can hold it. We need them both. Sometimes this radical self-honesty is described as the Vajra sword. Vajra is this diamond-like sword of enlightenment that cuts through the veils of delusion to really see what's there. And this compassion as this vast, empty, radiant heart that has room for this world. So we need them both. And I found in the Christian Desert Fathers a really beautiful example of the same path of awakening with these two, sometimes you might consider them two wings of awareness. And the Desert Fathers have this practice of recognizing the thoughts of the heart, which are, they call the stories, the thoughts, the emotions that entrapped. And they're described as demons only in that they're the shadow side, that when we don't know about them, in other words, when they're not in awareness, they can cause trouble, suffering. So the practice would be for Desert Fathers to do this radical self-honesty of investigating the thoughts of the heart and then bring and name it to an elder called the Abba, which really represents that field of compassion, bringing the truth into that field of compassion. The understanding was when the heart is open to the light of truth, when there are no secrets, the demons have nowhere to hide. They can't begin stirring up obsession and, crafting their illusions. So we become more transparent, open to the divine light. I think we'd find in any great path, any path of reality, of true insight and heart, these qualities of radical self-honesty and radical self-acceptance. And I love the phrasing, we become more transparent as we wake up. The light can shine through.